And that is great advice. So we're getting onto these tools that the Occupy movement actually invented or reinvented, and one of them was live video streaming. Cool! Guess what? TV started as live video streaming. That's what TV was, live video streaming. But you needed a studio to do it. Now they go, well, we can whip out our cell phones and do that with a cell phone. I can be a TV studio with a cell phone and broadcast. So they really, there's a couple good Occupy docs, which was rather sad for me how long it took for an Occupy doc to come out. At the WTO, Seattle, what year is that? 88?
2000.
2000? Anyways, it's a ways back. The kids shot the doc the first night at WTO, and the next night they're on the street selling VHS copies. Because I got one, I loved it. I was able to, I wasn't there, but my friend got one, and I was able to show a doc 3 days later, or a week later, and the doc ended with a great title. It said, sometimes you have to destroy property to save lives. Because that sounds like the U.S. government. So live video stream is very good that they help promote this tool that we can all use now. And, you know, then spawn all this Arab Spring. There's lots of what it's done. The third tool is what I'm trying to get to, and we'll go back, is called the human microphone. I'm most fond of this because I hate Monty Python, but there is a pretty good joke that they did was the guy's speaker's in front of a huge crowd, and he goes, repeat after me, we are all individuals, and the whole audience goes, we are all individuals. And then one guy in the back goes, I'm not. So this is a complicated tool that, again, when you go, what is the hidden effect? What is the hidden psychic effect of the human microphone? Well, I'm up here spewing things at you, and this is basically the TV body. If you understand that we're basically in 5 bodies. It's one way. I'm just coming at you. I'm trying to make this event chip body, which is digital or omnidimensional, where it's 2 ways. So we're going to have Mark, and we're going to have Nick, and we're going to have Eric come up here and participate, but throughout we're going to do round robin. So we're going to try to make it 2-way. The other bodies are the chemical, which is the physical body, the astral body, more than physical. That's for, you know, Mark hating Terrence McKenna, letting us yuppies vicariously take drugs through an intelligent speaker. You mean I don't have to ruin my body? I can just watch you talk about drug taking? Sign me up. And then the most important body, of course, is the mystery body. We don't know. That's like the great poet Auden said, the mystery of art is we don't know if it activates or pacifies. This is it's the real meat of what I'm trying to communicate tonight is called technological determinism. It sounds like a bullshitty term, but it's basically the things we invent affect us and change us. So the difference between Karl Marx and McLuhan is, Karl Marx would say, the point of the world is not to interpret it, but to change it. That sounds like that kind of movement. In fact, in the doc, the 2 Occupy docs I've seen are While We Watch, which is Kevin Breslin. Jimmy Breslin's son made a 40-minute doc just on the media team at the Occupy movement in New York. And it's pretty good. And there you see the sign, cardboard sign, that Karl Marx. McLuhan would say to Marx, this is Marx, the point of the world is not to interpret it, but to change it. McLuhan would say, you've got high aspirations, Karl Marx. You can't change diddly squat. Because guess what? Your inventions change you. So you can try all you want, but guess what? When we had no spoken word, we didn't have any spoken word. We had gesture and grunting. We had no separation between inner and outer. So T.S. Eliot says that poetry is outing your inner dialogue. So through our whole time tonight, you will all have inner dialogues. Fuck, I forgot to call my mom. You know, you'll have things that, this guy sucks, or he's cute, or whatever, you know. But you're going to have these things that aren't going to come out through your mouth. They're going to go on in your head. It's called inner dialogue. Before we had spoken word, there was no separation. Fucking baby would show up, you didn't know. It was because I had sex with this woman, that's why the baby came out. You think it's like magic. The baby, and then, you know, like, we didn't go, I'm hungry. You just ate. You know, there was no word for eating. And so it's amazing how we changed ourselves by inventing words. And people think, well, words are good. Well, of course, words are a tool, and they're both have services and disservices. So every tool we invent has services and disservices. So old people like us see two kids walking down the street talking on cell phones. We go, ever think of talking to each other? And you guess what? The cell phones are creating community just like eye contact and live verbal exchange. But we want to make a value judgment on cell phones and go, Jesus, could you quit doing this all day? It's like, Mark comes from the poetry world too. He knows the coolest thing about tweets is it turns all kids into haiku poets. You've got 140 characters. They didn't even know what a haiku poet is, but all of a sudden they're in that parameter. That's what you do with haiku poetry. You got, you know, a certain amount of characters. You got to use them. So it has services. The disservice is that when I show films like this, everybody's fucking, it's looking at another screen. I go, excuse me, we've all agreed to only look at one screen tonight. Whereas, as Will's decided, I guess we're going to look at several screens on one big screen. So if you want to tweet, you want to keep your cell phone on the whole time today, go ahead. Just tell your friends to come on over. We got food. You know, I don't care. But I'll tell you, it bugs the shit out of me. It's like, could you fucking turn that fucking thing off? Excuse me for saying fucking stuff. I've lost the whole impact of the word.